Talk on the River's Edge Radio Network. We have a special 360 show for you today. This is the second to last River Talk before Yinzfest 2018 at Mr. Small's Theater, in which Standard Broadcast will be performing.
Yep.
And if the Post-Gazette, we always start off with a little bit of local news. Interesting headline, interesting story going on right now on Facebook. If the Post-Gazette hasn't driven you to cancel your subscription yet, maybe this will put you over the edge. Madison Johnson, 14-year-old girl, won the 95th National Marbles Tournament. Big news, front page of the local section, but the Post-Gazette, those bastards. People are outraged on Facebook because they made a huge, glaring mistake. And again, forget the firing of near Pulitzer Prize-winning cartoonist Rob Rogers. Forget that debacle. Forget the racist editorial that came out in the Post-Gazette. That, not enough to throw you over the edge, not enough to get you to cancel your subscription. No, my friends. The Post-Gazette posted the wrong picture, the wrong girl, to the cover, or actually it was the second page of the local section in the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. All the Facebook outrage, people are upset, people are furious, people are livid, and they're taking to Facebook and they are demanding that the Post-Gazette apologize for this horrible, terrible error, in which on their online page they did change the website, but people are very, very angry. Many people are posting, some saying, here, Tiffany says, "That's a shame. Madison worked extremely hard for many years to accomplish her goal of winning nationals. I've never seen a child with more heart and determination than to see an article based on her win give the spotlight to another child." Lynette says that Madison won nationals. Please put the correct child picture up. She worked so hard for that title and deserves recognition. Others have posted that they are going to cancel their subscription. And it really leaves you wondering, has the Post-Gazette lost their marbles? And I get it. If you're a family member of this young girl, you would be upset. But really, with everything going on in the world, with all of the things happening here in Pittsburgh, with the protests over the death of a young man who was shot in East Pittsburgh, shutting down the Parkway, other streets in the city, cars driving through crowds, a girl who has the wrong picture on in the newspaper is really not the biggest deal. And it's funny because you look through all of these statuses going on Facebook, all of the comments, all of the outrage. It's all faux outrage. It's everybody's in the same family, but they're trying to make it look like there's this huge outcry of anger and hatred and fury over the Post-Gazette posting the wrong picture in the article. They got the name right. They got the award right. They got the National Marble Tournament right. Hell, I didn't even know that there was a National Marble Tournament, so I guess I'm going to give the Post-Gazette props on this one because they brought awareness to a tournament that I did not know existed. Again, this is River Talk. You can listen to us online live right now at riversedgepgh.com/live. Tomorrow morning on the stream, this will re-air at 10 a.m., and that's at riversedgepgh.com, where we play local music 24 hours a day, the best in local original music in Pittsburgh. You heard Standard Broadcast bringing us in for today. I want to hear your thoughts on the Pittsburgh Marble Crisis, the story that is taking Facebook by storm, at least in one family. Are you outraged? Are you gonna? Is this the final straw? Is this the straw that broke the camel's back that has made you decide to cancel your subscription to the Post-Gazette? Or is it all of the other things? Or are you not going to cancel your subscription because they're the only daily print newspaper left in the city? 412-407-2PGH. We'll take your texts. We'll also take your comments on the Facebook Live feed, or you can reach out to us at riversedgepgh.com/live in the chat room there as well. Saturday, it's Yinzfest 2018, the first Yinzfest. We're going to be talking with Standard Broadcast about that, but we are going to be giving away tickets today, 4 tickets to the winner Actually, I'm going to give you a twofer. We'll give away 8 tickets on today's program. 4 tickets if you come up with the best title for today's show. Listen to the whole show and give me a title that you think this show should be titled in our podcast version and on the YouTube version as well. And if you come up with the best title, then I will send you can pick up, I should say, 4 tickets, 4 free tickets, complimentary of The River's Edge at the Will Call. Just give me that title. And then also, if you can come up with something that will make me laugh dealing with this horrible, bring some laughter to tragedy. That's what I'm asking. If you can come up with something that will make me, Brian Crawford, laugh in regards to this Pittsburgh marble tragedy. This young woman, she's going to be scarred for life. I don't know how she's ever going to get past this. But if we could bring some laughter to the situation, please post your comments below in the Facebook Live feed, or you can tweet me at RiverTalkPGH or text me at 412-407-2PGH. The winner of that, the person who makes me laugh the hardest, you will also receive 4 tickets to Yinzfest. 8 tickets in one show if I can get a good title and something to make me laugh. We'll also have Elliott Conway on the show as well. He's going to be telling us a little bit about Studiome, which is where we are at. We're broadcasting from Studiome here in East Liberty. It's really cool. I got the idea to reach out to Elliott and just talk about what they have going on here at Studiome based on some live 360 videos that our friend PM Mir has been putting together here. And it's really, really cool because you can swipe on your phone and see everything that is going on, or you can get your VR goggles on and actually look around the room as if you're standing in the middle of the room and get a true in-person experience. So I thought that was really cool, and I wanted to highlight that technology and highlight what Will is doing as well. Or PM Mir is doing as well. You can check out PM Mir on Facebook and get all of the links to his previous 360 views. Again, if you have a good show title, please let us know, or if you have something that you think you can make me laugh in regards to this terrible, terrible Pittsburgh marble situation. And again, has the Post-Gazette lost their marbles? Please let me know at RiverTalkPGH. But I'm going to bring Elliott to the table right now. He is the studio manager here at Studiome, which is just a really cool space. I had never been here before, so it was a real treat to walk in and see everything. And I can tell that you guys are running a bigger budget than I am because you've got multiple computers out in front of in your lobby.
Yeah, well, we are a startup, so we are always on a shoestring budget and are always looking to do the most interesting thing with as little money as possible, I guess.
I understand how that is. Right now, we're a startup as well, and we haven't gotten to the funding part yet. We're still dealing with the just paying things out of pocket phase of the operation.
Yeah, that's
so
exactly
I understand. I understand how that goes. So this is so cool. This is such a cool space right here in East Liberty. You're right on Penn Avenue, so you're in a prime location. Were you with Studiome from the beginning?
No, I actually didn't come on board until 6 months after it started. It's about 1.5 years old.
Okay.
So, yeah, I've been here almost exactly 1 year now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How do you like it? It's got to be a cool experience.
Oh, I absolutely love it, yeah.
Now, how long has Studiome been in operation?
It's been in operation for about 1.5 years now.
1.5 years, okay.
Yeah,
So you've been here pretty early in the game then.
Yeah, it's been cool to see it grow over the past, it really has been. Pretty much, it's been 1 year and 1 month, so I've seen a lot of things change and improve over that amount of time.
How did you get hooked up with Studiome? Did you apply for a job, or did they seek you out based on things you've done?
It was actually a childhood friend had worked with one of the co-founders here.
Okay.
And I was living in Los Angeles, actually, and I was leaving. I used to work at America's Funniest Home Videos, and I was leaving that show and moving back to Pittsburgh. And I was telling my friend about it, and I was telling him that I was like looking to freelance and then also get a part-time job. And like 2 weeks later, he hooked me up with one of the co-founders here, Keith Parrish. And I talked to him over the phone, and then talked to the other co-founder over the phone after that with Keith. And then moved back here by car, road tripped, and then started working here a day after I got back.
That's so cool. It's amazing to see so many different things pop up here in Pittsburgh. You've got Studiome here. Obviously, we've got a great studio at the River's Edge. Sorgatron Media just got a new studio. Epicast, all of these online or independent media companies or places like you have where people can rent the space out. they're all really on the rise and growing, and I think it's so cool to see this culture grow in Pittsburgh. It's really fascinating that we're all kind of blooming at the same time in a way.
Yeah, that's actually why I moved back originally, is because it kind of felt like there was a wave of energy happening in Pittsburgh that my friends who were still here were telling me about, especially related to entertainment and film. I got kind of excited about that. And technology, like 360 video mixed with entertainment.
It's the first time I think
really
I've
cool.
been on 360 as far as video goes. Yeah, I know Sorg has taken some video and pictures, but it hasn't been anything quite like this where we were set up in the full studio. It was kind of like, Sorg is like a guy, you know Mary Poppins? She's got that bag. That's kind of like Michael Sorg. I don't know if you know Michael Sorg, but
I do actually.
He does, yeah. Like he can just pull out all sorts of tech stuff out of his bag and just throw it up on a whim. And he kind of did that in the studio once with a 360 camera, which was kind of fun. But yeah, this is really fantastic. I love the space. And tell me a little bit about what Studiome does. I know it's a space that people can rent, correct?
Yeah, it's we've got 4 different spaces, studio spaces that people can rent out. They're for a mix of like audio, photography, and videography. So it's kind of a catch-all bag for any kind of content that you want to make. So if you want to come in here and do a live show, you can do a live show in here. If you want to do kind of full-body model photography, you can do that in here. If you want to do a music video, you can do that in here. As well as an audio podcast. We've got an audio podcast room in there.
Who records out of here, audio-wise?
There's a Houses and Hills podcast. There's also a marketing podcast that Andrew Carlton does out of here. Also, there's a video podcast done by Anthony Freeze, who does one in the Self-Guided Studio, which is a studio that runs off of just an iPad. And he does that almost like once a week in here. I believe it's called 24-Hour Hustle. So that's on Facebook if you want to check that out. Yeah.
Very cool. What's the most interesting thing that you've seen in your time here at Studiome?
Most interesting thing would probably be, I don't know, I
besides
like
River
earlier,
Talk.
After this, I don't know, seeing other places pop up around here has been really cool. Like specifically in East Liberty, I think that's been really awesome to see pop up. Even things like seeing restaurants pop up really quickly right around here just in the last year has been really cool. And obviously 360 stuff. I'm very excited about that kind of stuff. So
I mean, what's like the craziest thing you've seen actually come through this studio on a 360 camera?
On a 360 camera? Well, for at least not yet, no one has come in with the 360 camera to film. So for 360 camera stuff, I've actually only done the Premiere Presents stuff here so far. Yeah. We did have, I think the probably biggest name we had coming through here was actually Discovery Channel.
Oh, really?
Doing like interviews for one of their shows, yeah.
What show was that?
It was some sort of murder mystery. I can't remember the actual name of it. But
they used your studio as like the space to conduct the interviews?
Yeah, I guess the person that lived here, or the person they were interviewing did live here. And so they thought it would be a nice local place to actually film it.
Now, what did you do with America's Funniest Home Videos? Because that's what you were at before you came here, correct?
Yeah. I edited digital videos. So if you look up Cats Leaping on Leap Day or Cats Leaping for Leap Year or something like that, that's my my jewel right there. That's the biggest thing I've ever done. Yeah.
That's
So
cool.
I did digital videos basically for Facebook.
My mom watches that all of the time, America's Funniest Home Video, and it's funny. The show itself is funny. You know, they've got some good videos. There's a lot of videos that make you laugh. But nothing is as funny as watching my mom watch America's Funniest Home Videos.
Oh, yeah.
Because she laughs at everything. And the whole time you could just see her like getting ready to laugh, almost like when you're about to sneeze and you're trying to hold it in. And you could see her, she just cannot stop herself. And it's hilarious. I'm sitting there laughing at her. She probably thinks I'm laughing with her, but no, Mom, I'm laughing at you because it's hilarious. But it's really like the funniest thing to watch. And I had a question for you, being that you've worked there, you've been on the inside. Why is it that the funniest videos never win? Ever?
That's a very good question.
Is it the audience? They just have really poor taste?
I think...
Not that the videos that win stink, but almost never are they the funniest video, at least in my opinion, and the opinion of everyone else I talk to.
That is interesting, because even the people that work there, I would like go on set to actually do part of the filming there, and everyone that worked there would place bets, about which video would win, and we never got it either. I'm wondering if maybe there's something about watching it in the audience versus watching it on TV, or watching it outside of actually being on set that's different. But yeah, it's
Maybe. I can't imagine, because even in studio, they're still watching it on a TV, right?
Yeah. I don't know, maybe it's the fact that there's like a camera on them at all times, and
maybe. Also, maybe it could have to do with the people who are in the video. Maybe they're more animated or something like that.
It could also have to do with the people that are, like the contestants are actually there in the audience too.
Yeah.
So they actually are in the presence of people that are going to be winning, so that might have to do with it as well.
That's what I mean. Yeah, they might watch their body language and be
exactly.
influenced by what they're doing.
Yeah.
So I always just wondered that, because you always watch it and you're always like, why?
Yeah, it's someone should do a psychology paper on that. Some sort of thesis for a master's student should do a paper on that.
Definitely. So what are your plans going forward with Studiome? What are some of the future ideas that you have with this beautiful room, the 360 camera, and everything else?
I think right now we're trying to perfect, I guess, one model to be able to replicate in other places, I guess. So it's really just figuring out what exactly would be worth replicating elsewhere. So I believe the idea is to kind of franchise it, or to have multiple locations, so that other people, because it's a nice asset for basically people locally, so it's perfect for people right around here. So it'd be nice to have, these in other places for people to use.
And how do people reach out to you guys if they want to get involved, or if they want to have use the space for their purposes?
Most people do it via email, just emailing like studiomellc@gmail.com, or calling the office. Best thing to do to find out about it is just to visit studiome.me, and you can find all the info and contact info on there as well.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So, Elliott Conway, studio manager. I keep wanting to say station manager, because that's what I do with the River's Edge.
I'm happy with that title as well. Yeah.
There we go. Station manager, studio manager, tech guru. He got this all set up for us. It's fantastic. We'll have standard broadcast back here in a little bit. Elliott, thank you so much for joining me on River Talk. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So, Studiome, and you can check them out. They're actually tagged in all of the promotions for this video. Do you want to go to Yinzfest? I know you do. There's going to be fantastic musicians, live art, all sorts of great stuff, and I'm giving away 8 tickets tonight. You have to come up with a creative title for today's show. I'll be watching the Facebook Live feed and also my phone at RiverTalkPGH on Twitter, 412-407-2PGH, 412-407-2744 for the texting line. I'm Brian Crawford here at Studiome with the 360 camera here in East Liberty. We've got some weird news for you. Of course, we usually come in with the weird news music, but if you're listening to us live, you'll have to wait and listen to it in post. But we have lots of good stuff for you here as well with the weird news. The first one has to deal with poor gardening tactics. Some people are trying to enhance the power of their plants. They think that they've got the magic secret, and my friends, they are not correct. Unlike humans, because if you are a human, obviously, if you've watched any comic book anywhere and you're hit with nasty chemicals, radiation, if you've been fried in a microwave, you know that you will come out with superpowers. It's a fact. Just watch any Marvel comic cartoon, read any comic book, and you will know that you get hit with a little bit of gamma radiation, and you're going to grow some extra arms. You're going to get laser vision. Something like that will happen. But not your plants. No, if you try to give your plants chlorinated water, they will die. According to the Tribune Review, people are using pool water to water the plants outside, and it is being met with disaster. Just spray some X-rays on your plants, then maybe they will grow, or get some ooze like Shredder did in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and you'll get that giant dandelion, if you remember that from the second Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but not chlorinated water. That's a disaster. That will not work. Also, a bank in India has been robbed. Nearly $19,000 worth of money, of rupees, in India have been stolen from a bank. They finally found the culprit, according to the Huffington Post. The culprit, it's actually multiple culprits, and they are mice. The mice are coming in, and they are eating the cash. Money is disappearing in India, and it's all because of those damn dirty rats. And I've decided this year that I am going to go with a new grassroots campaign to try to bring some extra cash into the River's Edge to help build up our studio add some new equipment, help our marketing purposes. I've come up with a way. You will see me this year on the corner of a street in Deutschtown during the Deutschtown Music Festival. I will have a product for sale, and I expect everyone to chip in because I will have the best water available. Better than Fiji, better than tap, well, obviously better than the tap water here in Pittsburgh, better than tap, better than Fiji, better than any brand out there. I will be selling the River's Edge brand, and I will be selling the used water from boiled hot dogs. And I will be selling this water at a premium. And I expect all of you to chip in. I got the inspiration from a man in Vancouver who has been selling bottled hot dog water for 30 pounds, according to the Mirror. That comes out to about $40 in U.S. currency, just shy of $40. $40 for a bottle of boiled hot dog water. And they claim that there are health benefits to the water, and that is why they are justifying the sale. And you ask why I'm going to Deutschtown? Well, because this man sold these bottles of water at a car-free festival, similar to our Open Streets events. And as you know, I do battle with the bike lobby here in Pittsburgh, so I don't know if they'd let me in to sell bottled, boiled hot dog water at the Open Streets event. But I feel like Deutschtown, they and I were on good terms. Good guys down there. So I'm thinking they'll let me have a spot. So I'm asking you out there, Cody, Hugh, Ben, I know you're listening, because who isn't listening to River Talk? Give me a spot at Deutschtown this year. I need some cash to help support local music in Pittsburgh. Boiled hot dog water for local music, so that way we can keep the 24-hour stream running. I know you out there, you're looking to help a man out, help a guy out who's trying to make a difference in the local scene, and this is how you can do it. Buy bottled hot dog water on the corner of a street in Deutschtown this year for the Deutschtown Music Festival. If you have any thoughts on the weird news, please let me know. And also, we're waiting for your show headlines at River Talk PGH and at 412-407-2PGH, as well as the Facebook Live feed. And if you can come up with a funny comment to bring some light to the dark tragedy of the Pittsburgh marble crisis, where one poor girl has been victimized by the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette and their evil, evil team of reporters and photographers by victimizing this poor woman, this poor little girl, by putting someone else's photo in the article. So please, if you can bring some light to that tragedy, please do so right there in the Facebook Live chat. We have standard broadcast here. We're at Studiome in East Liberty, and they're going to play another song for us. And then once that happens, we're going to talk about Yinzfest all night, because it's coming up this Saturday, and we have tickets to give away, 8 tickets. But you got to give me a show title. You have to comment on the Pittsburgh marble, messed up Pittsburgh marble disaster. That's 412-407-2PGH. Standard broadcast right now here at Studiome in East Liberty on the River's Edge.
The song is a new song. It's called Music Stars. Find it on this
haven't seen you, and I was happy. You guys are the first ones I asked because I thought Standard Broadcast has been so good to the network, the River's Edge, and so we love having you guys here. So we've got Nathan, Adam, Jeff, and Leland here, and you guys are going to be performing at Yinzfest. You have no idea what time or what stage you're performing at.
No, we all show up, a little bit before the doors open, and then that's when we get our slot times. So I kind of like that. So it makes sure everyone comes and sees everybody. There's I think 26 bands right now and 3 venues to see everybody. So everybody just come out, plan the day, and see a bunch of great acts.
Does it make things, is it frustrating also to not know when you're playing? Because I feel like that would almost make you a little anxious, because I'm a planner. I like to know what time, and I like to have an hour to be there and get ready in case something goes wrong.
It's a nice change up.
Is it?
We did this once with Indie Rock Fest, again, for people that don't know us. We've had a festival called Indie Rock Fest. It's going into its 4th year, and River's Edge has been a sponsor the last 2 years. And we did that one of the years where, all the bands, we just kind of drew a time slot out of the hat. Actually, it was really cool because the one band would go on, and then the crowd member would come up and have a hat with all the band's names in it, and then they picked it, and that's who went on next. It was live.
Oh, wow.
And I thought that was pretty neat. So I get the concept. It's kind of
I like it.
A breath of fresh air. It's a different show. It makes it interesting for us.
As someone in the audience, I really like the idea because I think it's a lot of fun to not know, and it forces them. And this is one of the reasons why they did it. Speaking with the crew, William, Kate, and Brandon, who put this together, is they want people to experiment and explore different types of music and get to know different bands that are on the lineup. And I think that's really something that's very valuable, to force people to kind of get outside of their comfort zone and force people to actually sit down, or not sit down, but move around and learn more about the scene that they're in.
Right, I think it's nice because there's not too many bands, especially in the Pittsburgh scene, ourselves included, that are super well known yet. So I like the fact that this festival is kind of like underground indie, up and coming bands. A lot of young. There's bands that are guys in high school and girls in high school. So it's nice if you're just a music lover in general and you want to hear a lot of new music, you just come and listen to whoever's playing, And then if there is a band or two that you do like, you'll definitely come out to see that band and hopefully stick around, afterwards. So.
And that's a valuable thing too, is the fact that they treat these young artists as if they're a valuable group, because they are. And that's something that we did with the music festival. Is everybody is going to get paid. The Millville Music Festival, everyone gets paid the same. They're here being drawn just like anybody else. It's not we're going to put you in the beginning because you're young. It's no, they're all treated the same, and I think that really shows a lot of respect to the scene and to artists of all levels. And I think that's really something that we can be proud of with Yinzfest in the way that they're operating.
Yeah, Yinzfest and Wake Up on Fire, who's putting this on, they're the one promotion company that I've noticed around that has really kind of locked into the younger demographic market and helping up and coming bands get shows. It might be kind of what's the word I'm looking for, when a bunch of bands play, a showcase. Yeah, that's what the word is. So then some of them are showcase, but you get these younger bands that are playing on main stage at Mr. Small's on a Saturday night, and I think that's really cool that they have been able to do that in the past, and they're kind of doing that in the future.
And they're a young promotions company themselves as well. They've been around not too long. I'm not sure how long exactly.
I think maybe about 2 or 3 years, but they've been really involved. They've helped us out a lot, so thanks again.
Do you think being so young, it gives them more opportunities to experiment because they are growing?
Yeah. I think that they don't have as big of overhead as some of the other promotion companies, and don't have to deal with national acts and draw and stuff like that. But they're very organized. They're very clear cut, and they have contracts and stuff like that. So that too, for an up and coming band, is really nice to kind of get to see that at a young point. So. Or even an up-and-coming band. It doesn't have to be age-wise young, but a newer band in the scene, it's nice getting your first contract and seeing, what's involved. So
I'm interested to see how they utilize the Smalls Cafe in this giant lineup, because they're going to be using 3 different spaces. I think just 3 to my knowledge, which is a lot at Smalls. They're going to have the Funhouse upstairs, the theater stage, and then beneath the theater there's the Smalls Cafe, which just recently opened, and I know that they're planning to utilize that space as well. I'm interested to see how they utilize that. I think it is going to make it a really nice event to be able to go amongst all 3 stages.
Right. No, I agree. It's going to be great. I'm excited. I was just over there for the first time, too. I love
In the cafe?
Yeah, the cafe. That's really cool.
Were you there earlier today?
Yeah, I stopped
Okay.
there earlier today, so I got to see the first Sunday Fun Day. That was neat. Jeremy Kaywood was sponsoring, and saw Jenny the Jagoffs for a little bit, so that was neat.
Yeah, so he's referring to the Sunday Fun Day event that they had this morning, if you're listening to us live, Sunday night, where they had a variety of music and visual art on display in the Smalls Cafe, and it's kind of a nice little precursor to the Yinzfest that we have this coming Saturday, because there is going to be a variety of artists there, I believe, doing live art as well at the Yinzfest. It's a big mix of different types of art forms, which I like. That's something that really this city has been taking to a lot, the mixing of visual art in with the music art. I know they're doing it here with Wake Up on Fire Promotions. They've done it with Redfish Bowl. We did it at the Millville Music Festival this year, and you're even seeing at smaller shows where you have people's CD release parties, and they'll bring in artists there as well. And I know at the Art House in not Garfield, but the one in Highland Park, they probably Garfield as well, but even at house shows like that, they'll bring in live painters for a house show event. And I really like that approach. I think it really is great for the visual artists to bring in people who are coming from music to be able to see that visual art display, but I think it adds so much to the atmosphere of the event when you can walk around and see people performing live art visually while you're listening to music.
I think that's really great. They had 2 or 3 artists over at Sunday Fun Day, and that's a small space for this cafe, and they were really, really good. They're doing like oil paintings right in the middle of the cafe. It was really neat.
Yeah, it's very.
There's venues like the Mattress Factory too, North Side, that are really good, and they have music there.
They have been,
also,
doing more
It's really
music
cool.
there, which is great. So tell me a little bit about what you guys have going with Standard Broadcast outside of Yinzfest.
We're really excited. We put our first full length out, which is self-titled Standard Broadcast, back in 2016, and we're back in the studio. We have 2 singles dropping this summer, and already lined up like a publicist and stuff. So we're gonna be getting that out like nationwide and stuff. So we're in the process of shooting a video for one of those, and hopefully have the full length out by the end of the year. So a lot to come from us in the next 6 months.
Yeah, you'll have to let me know about
Yeah.
that, because we'll definitely have to talk about that. I think
Yeah.
that'll be great.
Thank you.
So if I can get your guys' thoughts on the marble situation in Pittsburgh, where do you stand on that? Are you done with the Post-Gazette? Is this finally the issue that is struck a chord with you, and you've decided now that you're going to dump the paper and go completely digital?
You you look at it, there's a lot of good people there, like Scott Nervous and stuff like that, so you can't take livelihoods away like that just from someone putting their own picture in. That's not
But I mean,
nice.
it's the Marble Championship, the National Marble Championship. I mean, everybody's talking about it, and then now they see the wrong girl's face right there in the local section of the Post-Gazette on a Saturday.
I think that just shows you the priority in Marvel's lives.
So you're saying that you don't think the marble tournament's that big of a deal? Are you putting down marble players?
No, not the players, just the activity.
Just the activity of marble. How do you even play marbles? I don't even know how you play it.
I don't know. I know my dad used to.
Your dad?
Yeah,
See,
I was like 50s, 60s. So that's when it kind of died out. I guess I was wrong.
and I think you're wrong. Marbles, they're on the rise. People, you can't even walk down the streets of East Liberty without seeing people on the ground, just on the sidewalks, playing marbles in the middle of the street.
You're tripping over them.
You're tripping over them. They're
There's so
all over
many.
the place. In fact, the open streets people, apparently they're no longer going to be putting up barricades on the roads. They're just going to be putting rows of marble players, because there's so many of them in Pittsburgh, and they thought that this would be a great attraction. And because people are so passionate about their marbles here in Pittsburgh, that they know that the people aren't going to drive through the marble
players.
player barricades. In fact, I've even heard that Mayor Bill Peduto is taking it to council. He would like to create a proposal to change the slogan of the city of Pittsburgh. No longer will it be called the Steel City, it'll be called the Marble City.
Fake news.
Now, that's real news. I believe it's going to happen. I think this will be the Marble City, the marble capital of the world. Right
Bring it
here.
on.
We already have the pinball championship.
It's true.
We already have the bearded society in Pittsburgh. Why not the marble championships as well?
Bring it on. Another billboard, right?
Another
sign at the airport.
Another sign at the airport. I think it's great. So we've got that. And then if you were going to give a title to today's program, what would you do? What would you say? Any of you guys, if you have an idea, you can shout it out. I think we'll hear you. If not, I'll repeat it. So, a title for today's program for this River Talk.
Plight of the Marbles?
Plight of the Marbles.
Yeah.
I like it. March of the Marbles, too. We could throw that out there, too. The Marble Adventures. Avengers. I like it. The Marble Avengers. If you have a comment, if you have a title for today's show, remember we are giving away 4 tickets to Yinzfest. And that you can text that information, that title, at 412-407-2PGH. You can message us on the Facebook Live feed as well, or you can tweet me at RiverTalkPGH. I'm also looking for your comments on this marble disaster. If you can make me laugh, bring joy to my sorrowed heart, because, you know, I am really down on this. This has really got under my skin. So, if you can bring a smile to my frown. I can't actually frown. I have a hard time frowning. You see people like the big frowns? I can't do that. I can't. I have a hard time frowning. So,
Yeah, pretty good.
is that good? Okay. So if you could turn my frown, if you could turn my frown upside down by giving me a good comment on the marble situation, then I'll send you 4 tickets to Yinzfest as well. What are you guys looking forward to most out of Yinzfest?
Just playing with new bands, hopefully getting some new followers and new fans that haven't heard our music before, so just excited to play with. I think we only know, out of the 26, I think we've only played with like 2 other bands, Soul Alliance and Bleepy Things. And both of those bands are really good. A lot of talent in those 2 bands, so yeah, just making new friends, networking,
Yeah,
stuff. So.
we had Mulu on this past Friday a couple days ago. He was fantastic.
Nice.
And I don't know if I've actually seen Snowdonia live, but I've seen them perform. They're great as well. So there's definitely going to be a lot of fantastic talent.
Just a ton of talent in the city.
Yeah, and I'm really thrilled, too, about the whole cafe thing. The other day, I was there for Mike Sprantz's 50th birthday party, and I was so tired. I was exhausted. I was tired. I had gone to 2 other shows before that. I was, like, committed to a million different shows that day. And I made it to the ones I felt like I had to make. Not that the other ones weren't important, but Mike Sprantz, a great friend of mine, fantastic to my network, had to go and support him. And then also the guys from Three Rivers Circus, they threw an event down at stage at Karma, and they're supportive of what we do, so wanted to support them.
Sound, they're awesome.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah.
So I was there at Smalls, and I was falling asleep because I was just so tired. So I went down to the cafe, and I got an espresso and a beer, and it was fantastic. So it's definitely a great addition. I'm looking forward to that as well. You guys have one more song for us that you're going to close out.
Yeah.
But I want to hear your thoughts. Again, you can tweet us after the fact because this show goes up live, so I'll be looking at the comments. I'll be looking at the texts. I'll be looking at everything else. A title for today's show. Got to give it to me, though, before Tuesday, because once Tuesday happens, the title is set. And also, if you can give me a funny comment to brighten my spirits over the tragedy of this marble situation. I think this is the one issue that could tear the Post-Gazette down. And I think even Hahn Funeral Home, despite their goodwill, I think this marble situation is just too far. And I feel like even the good people at Hahn Funeral Home, the only family-owned funeral home in Millville, who are known for the green burial, I don't even think they would accept the Post-Gazette if the Post-Gazette was embodied into a person at their funeral home. But Jamie Hahn, if you have a different thought, you can let me know as well. Again, that's 412-407-2PGH, 412-407-2744. We'll take your texts all night, also your Facebook comments, and much more. I will be back Friday night, 6 p.m. with Jay Cooper. We'll be back at the studio. Unless something else changes, I'll let you know. We'll be at the studio at Mr. Smalls, our normal home. And we also have the Mike Sasson show. He'll be on tomorrow night streaming live on Facebook. And then, of course, Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. Also, big news, before I forget to remind you about the big news, we have the Jagoff podcast coming to the River's Edge. That's going to be July 5th, right after the 4th of July. They're going to be hosting the open mic at Howard's Pub as well. so you can come and meet the crew to celebrate the first day on the River's Edge Radio Network. That's huge news. They're a major podcast in the Pittsburgh area. We're so thrilled to have them here with us at the River's Edge. We're getting all of the big dogs under one tent on the River's Edge, and stay tuned over the next coming months. We're going to have some other news coming at you as well. And don't forget, you can go right after this show to riversedgepgh.com, click the play button at the top of the page, or find us on TuneIn Radio. Just look up the River's Edge to listen to local music like standard broadcasts 24 hours a day. Thanks so much to Elliott and Studiome for welcoming us here today in East Liberty and giving us the opportunity to show you what a show is like in 360. Don't forget, you can check out Studiome if you need to rent any of these beautiful facilities. You could do so there. We have Studiome tagged in the Facebook event. I'll be back Friday night. Thanks so much to Elliott for joining me on the show. Thank you so much to Standard Broadcast for joining us here as well. This has been River Talk on the River's Edge Radio Network at riversedgepgh.com. I'm Brian Crawford. I'll see you all Friday night. We've got Standard Broadcast with one more song to wrap things up right here at Studiome on the River's Edge.
Thanks, Brian. Thanks, River Talk, for having us. This is another new song that's coming out. It's called After All.
awesome.